I, for one, recently watched PewDiePie's review on 5 Minute Crafts and his idea of it, on what he thinks of it, and I gotta agree with him. They all pretty much suck when you could just get something that's way cheaper than having to make it yourself. So basically, today's video, I'm going to be reviewing horrible back-to-school hacks since it's January, and I'm sure a lot of you are going back into school. This is called 9 Funny School DIY Hacks, Useful Life Hacks and Crafts by Crafty Hacks. Now, I'm surprised this thing made it as an ad on YouTube, and I question the thumbnail. I know this thumbnail isn't real, but who in their right idea would put Sharpie on their own lips? It's almost like saying kids like, hey, we don't use this in our thumbnails, but do you want to hopefully try this and get intoxicated by this poisonous marker that probably won't bring you back to life? Forget it, let's just continue already. So, the dislike to like ratio is pretty reasonable. I'm with the dislikes on this one. Let's just get on with it. Okay. Automatically, we have a cheater in the house.
Lily!
No cheating in my class.
Sorry, teacher.
Joyce, your turn.
Me?
Okay.
So we come off to a very basic, cringy, Troom-like video. And yes, you might have heard the amount of times of Troom by Danny Gonzalez, which he's kind of the inspiration for making this video. So go subscribe to him, if you would please. So she basically writes down from 0 to 9, which, this is 9 times tables we're talking about here. They're not even that hard. All you gotta do is just memorize them because there's a certain pattern to it. But what she's doing is an okay pattern. But if I was the teacher, I would be like, that's automatically wrong. Go back to your seat. I'm changing jobs.
Good job, Joyce.
What?
And she still is correct.
For the multiples of 9, you go from 0 all the way to 9. And then you go in the same way, but reverse.
She has a good point, though, but it is going to help you, but just remember it, and don't use that stupid technique ever. Like, ever. She pulls out a broken pair of scissors of where one of the handles just doesn't have the half of a ring. And it still works. It still works. It has 2 edges. You're just too lazy to find out of how gravity works.
Hey, Lily.
I tried that once. It takes a long time to get them in the correct position and almost never works.
Here you go. Why don't you try?
Wow, you're a genius.
Thank you.
And why couldn't you just use a piece of tape and make the ring of the scissors so that way they can actually go up and down? You didn't have to pull out 2 rulers in order to make this thing even more stupid and more difficult than the broken pair of scissors already are.
Darn, how can I fix my shirt?
Now she spilled coffee all over her shirt. Now, I just find that stupid that she doesn't double check her lid, which I do sometimes, but hey, if that's a crappy lid, you're never going back to that Starbucks again. I don't trust that girl to make my coffee at all. And now they're pulling out an orange Sharpie. In what way does this help to fix a shirt? And now she's just basically making continents that don't exist. What amount of time do you have in order to fix your own shirt, which this is not going to work, by the way, in front of your own teacher while they're teaching about the Declaration of Independence? Now we're using glitter and she just flips it all over her desk. That's more things to get you in trouble.
I really like my new shirt.
Yeah, they're non-existent continents.
Oh no, that's wrong.
And we're learning about A's and B's now. Square roots, more times tables. This is all like 8th grade math. Yes, I'm in 11th grade and I'm still doing that low of math. Bear with me, I'm slow at that kind of stuff. And now, her eraser is gone. and she takes out the pencil sharpener and sharpens the eraser, and it's not a good idea to do that, and this never works with pencils at all, because one, it leaves a sharp blade with even more of an eraser, and the erasers just fall off. I'd say ditch it, or no, just keep the pencil, use another eraser, and then you're good.
Wow, it really works.
It really doesn't.
I need a new pen.
That's to the point of where you chuck it in the F-it bucket. And who in the right mind brings a freaking hairdryer to school? It looks like a gun almost, because since we have all these problems with school shootings, we don't need anything else with a handle and a big nozzle. I tried this hack once, it melted the tip of my pen, and when I was writing it just ink everywhere.
Oh no! My drawing!
She doesn't know how to be careful. I never use watercolors a lot because sometimes stuff like this happens. And at this point, I would just clean up the mess, throw out the paper, and get a new sheet. And now you have you have a higher chance of making a bigger mess while making this project that I admit is kind of smart, but might explode the cup everywhere because on how tight balloons can get.
Now write the answers on your whiteboard, please.
Darn, I forgot my whiteboard.
Me too. What do we do?
I gotta admit, this one is kind of smart, but I never use this. If she asks for, like, write down on your whiteboard, what kind of students expect to have a whiteboard in their desk when they have sheets of paper and pens? Her stapler doesn't work. Oh no! I mean, like, if you're gonna staple it and there's no staples comes out the first 3 times you try and do it, why bother doing it the next 27 times? It's just... ugh.
How could I staple my homework?
'Cause you ain't got no staples. Again, nobody brings knives into a school. Again, school shooter reasons. You don't have the time and effort to make 2 dashes across like 15 sheets of paper because you didn't have the money to buy staples, but apparently you had the money to buy an X-Acto knife. This next one is just complete stupidity.
This is not a nail salon.
Sorry, teacher.
Give me the file.
Who does their nails in a school? You don't find your nails in the middle of a class of biology or whatever the crap you're taking. This does not make any sense. This is on below the list of what's worse than shroom hacks, okay?
How could I file my nails in class?
Because you don't! Yeah, sandpaper. That's gonna work. It's gonna file your nails down until your finger bits are bleeding. Finger bits? You need to say what kind of sandpaper you're using. You can't just throw out a full-on eraser and not tell the kids what kind of sandpaper you're using. There's names to sandpaper for a certain reason, for certain jobs of its durability and its sanding level.
Again?
It's just an eraser.
It's just an eraser. You didn't see anything. I could just picture there being like points of school hacks of where they have like switchblades as erasers. Those are by far the stupidest crafts I've ever seen of an ad on the YouTube homepage. This is all stupid. Don't ever try these hacks. Some of them might work, not all of them, but just don't trust these kind of things because these things can get you in trouble. I am never good at outro, so bye.